think the class in itself was too much. I did think the content was too much at times. I think the handbook was, like Kathy and everyone else has said, it was kind of like over our heads. And what I mean in that is like, you need a lot of background knowledge. And I, like in undergrad and during my master's, even before this class, we learned about theorists and stuff. But I feel like the handbook was very targeted and written towards psychology students. And we did not have the foundation for that even after reading the course text. I did, however, I loved the textbook. I actually enjoyed reading it. I spent a month in Japan this summer with my brother. That's why I wasn't able to be on a lot of the Zooms, was the time difference. But I, like on my 16-hour flight or my 14-hour flight, the long flights, I actually was like excited to sit down and read the course content. And then I would like sit and like wake my mom up and be like, Mom, did you know that da 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 da? Because I enjoy like psychology. I'm very much like to like analyze people and stuff like that. I think this course would be better, and this isn't something that's within your control that I'm aware of, but if we did not have this in culmination with the literacy course that we're taking right now, because that one was like also a bigger like project type course, where this one was project based and like throughout. With the literacy class, it was more like little individual project pieces. It was just a lot together, but the class in itself, I feel standalone would not be too much. I really appreciate your willingness to respond, adapt, prompt us. You were very understanding. You were very prompt with your responses. It's very obvious that you are dedicated to your role as a professor. And I would not have known that it was your first year, or not your first year, but your first time teaching this course. Or I didn't realize until I was like reading something the other day. I was like, oh, she's part-time. She has like 4 other jobs. And you were very, very prompt. I'm like, when do you sleep? When do you do your other work? I feel like the projects, Kathy kind of touched on this, were a little all over the place in a little bit. But then I do agree that at the end, it does kind of culminate together. I noticed that with my project, with my OD and my SD. However, I do feel like a complaint or a critique that I would have is I feel like it's almost, the directions for it almost over-explain. It's like they talk in circles, and it leaves a lot up to like interpretation. Even though it has like a lot of explanation, it almost leaves a lot to interpretation. So I feel like it needs to be simplified to include, if it's meant to be explicit, then make it explicit. But if it's meant to be interpretive, make it interpretive and simplify some of the directions. Because like I said, it almost would get frustrational, not the actual assignment, but just reading the directions and trying to be like, what exactly am I supposed to do? This course has taught me a lot of adaptability. Also, I've always known this with my academics, but this course more than ever, I feel like every time I turned something in, I was like, oh, this sucks, I'm gonna fail. And then I would actually do really well on it, and you would give me good feedback. So it also showed like my self-doubt and how I overthought things, which again, I've always known that I've done that, but it really revealed that to myself more than ever. It also revealed that I am very resilient and very self-aware. I always knew I was self-aware, but the project really showed me how much I am self-aware and how resilient I am, because when I'm sitting there analyzing why I am the way I am, I'm like, wow, I have a lot of culminating factors. I enjoyed the class. I enjoyed the material, like I said. From this class, I've like already started like analyzing people. My cousin is who I worked with for the OD. Me and my aunt have been like really working on him for that. My brother had a baby in February, so she's 5 months old now. I've been sharing with him. I'm like, okay, Jared, so at this time, Kodo should be doing da-da-da-da. Or when we were in Japan and I was with her, I was like, oh, she's doing this. I was like, that's way above developmental schedule. So I love being able to share that, because also in the next 5 years, I do plan on having kids of my own. And then this is what's probably going to make people upset. I actually really enjoyed the content quizzes because it held me accountable. So I'm one of those people, you give me all this reading and stuff, I'm going to do like a little bit of it. I mean, I'll read the text, but I don't really absorb it. But I took the time and truly like went through and annotated the texts and took notes and highlighted and stuff. And I think I learned better from that, knowing that I had to do the content quizzes versus discussion posts, where in like discussion posts, you can kind of just like pull stuff from other texts. And there was one more thing. Oh, I think that a lot of the overwhelming aspects that people felt, because throughout I didn't feel very overwhelmed. And then towards the end, I started to feel overwhelmed. I think a lot of the overwhelming that people are experiencing, like the feeling of overwhelm, however you say that, is due to like overthinking the stuff, which leads back to the directions kind of talking in circles. But I do appreciate that you provided examples, because I did look at all the examples and I was like, okay, so like this person's like this is like that. And it really helped me know that like what I was doing was, right or wrong. But again, just simplifying directions. Kathy also touched on this. Really just go through coursing. It wasn't just like this with your class. It was even in our literacy class. The dates were so messed up during the summer courses, which at some point was frustrational when you are like me. I was battling where I was 14 hours ahead time zone. So like I had to figure out what to do at certain times and things like that. And then even when I wasn't in Japan, I'm not even home right now. I'm in Tennessee with my family, but I just got back from the beach. So I have not been at my actual home maybe 5 days since we got out of school. So it's one of those things where just making sure that before the course is published, that everything is, correct or what you intend. And then also the last thing is the video. Just making sure from the beginning it's stated that like that's going to want to be in a drive to share with others. Because I know I probably would not have done what I did with that. Like I would not have shared some of the information that I shared in it, or like added certain pictures and stuff, if that makes sense. I mean, the amount of material that for this course posted for us is way more than any other course we've taken so far in this program. Just like, there's just so much information. And I think, I'm sorry, because I try to give like specific feedback so that people are able to apply it. I think one of the things that you could take out of the materials is probably the handbook, or if you leave in the handbook, like doing in the live Zoom sessions, maybe like analyzing them together, or at least scaffolding that. So starting out doing that and then work towards people doing it independently. And then also I feel like some of the videos could go without. I do think though that the LV text, the one that was Lally and Valentine French, I think that was extremely beneficial. So definitely keep that.
I enjoyed that textbook myself.
Very readable. I definitely like what I set out to analyze, like my behavior I set out to change. It totally did not happen but I learned so much from it that I was like, I'm not even going to pretend like I didn't ever set out to do this. Because I learned so much from it. And then I learned what I do want to change about myself. I was going to say to take this time to absorb the information and engage in self-reflection. Make sure you keep a growth mindset, and then just be prepared for the course. But also do not overthink it, and then don't hesitate to reach out, because you are very responsive, very respectful, and very adaptable.